Hello, boss ladies. It is Sarah here from the Boss Lady Club. I'm about to be joined by Maura Stephens. Maura was working with the Boss Lady Club for about 16 weeks, and she's got some fantastic results that she wants to share with you ladies and let you know a bit about her journey, where she was before she started out with Boss Lady, what struggles she's had, what results that she has achieved. And Maura was a busy lady, and she was short on time, and here she is now so she can tell you more. Fantastic. Welcome, Maura.
No problem. Can you hear me okay,
I
Sarah?
can hear you good. Thanks so much for joining me. Brilliant.
No problem at all.
I just thought I'd let some... Yes, you take a pew and get relaxed. So I was going to just telling some other boss ladies maybe about a little bit about your journey in the Boss Lady Club and your results. So I'm just going to start out by asking you, Maura, what were kind of some of the problems you were having maybe before you started working in the Boss Lady Club?
Well, I suppose I used to be a relatively fit person, and I would kind of kept a fairly good eye on my weight, say going back about 3 years now, maybe 4. But in the last year, coming 16, 17, I probably did let it slide a bit, and hadn't been keeping an eye on it. So there was a few pounds creeping up, that I was kind of, jeans are getting tight, need to do something. But then the big problem happened just last June when I fell and I smashed my whole right arm from down there all the way down, including my full elbow. I ended up having to have a 6-hour surgery, and I had 17 weeks off work. And I was like this in a cast for 2 weeks, and then a further 2 weeks like this in a brace. Because the break was so bad, I had to keep it really, really still.
Yes.
So it was only after that, so that was into June and moving into early August, before a physio saw me and that we could get it moving again. So in that whole period up until October, I really did nothing as regards exercise. And because I was at home from work, sure, I became a complete slob and going around the house making cups of tea and having biscuits, and people would come in to visit and they bring me chocolates. And of course, when I wasn't working, so I eat the chocolates and drink the wine. And I gained a good, almost a stone, would say, in that period of time.
Okay.
So I went back. So yeah, that was the lead up, we'll say.
The lead up. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for giving us that background, because that's so relevant for other women who might be, suffering with an injury. What were your frustrations along the way? When you were trying to maybe get rid of some of this body weight or get back to health, that you were trying to solve on your own or with someone else or at a gym. What were the kind of frustrations you were feeling?
Well, I suppose I just kind of stopped doing any exercise anyway, because I felt I was kind of very conscious of my weight, I suppose. And also I had no confidence to do anything, because really all I could do would be walk. I was afraid I'd fall again.
Okay, so you were a bit tentative about movement. Yeah. So did you feel a bit tentative about movement, or about actually doing exercise?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Definitely did. Yeah. Because, you're never sure is it a good idea or not? And even though I own a treadmill, I did kind of try and walk on it a little bit, but then I didn't want to get any speed up in case I tripped and didn't have 2 arms to save myself.
Yes. So it kind of, some of the frustrations were confidence then, getting back at exercise or what you were capable of or your body was able for?
Yeah. Absolutely. I just kind of wanted to hide my body away anyway, because I certainly didn't feel like looking at it in mirrors or doing any workouts or anything,
Yes.
So I suppose it was when I eventually did get back to work in October. And I suppose then I knew I had to go out and meet people and I had to do something. So I think it was at that point I said, right, I really do have to do something.
Okay, so on a social setting, you're a bit frustrated as well.
Absolutely, yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
and you would be.
Yeah, you would be. And did you feel frustrated about food as well, or was it just mainly fitness, or what about mindset and food and things like that? Were you struggling with that also?
everything. No, it wasn't just fitness, because I knew I was eating the wrong foods, but I just kind of felt I was in a cycle. It was so hard to get out of it. Particularly when I was at home, when I wasn't working, because like, sure, you have nothing else to do when you put on tea.
Yes, exactly. Tea and biscuits when you've no routine and maybe feeling a bit powerless with it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. They were my downfalls, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, people come with all these lush.
Yes.
You may as well eat it.
Yeah, absolutely, when it's there. And what was kind of different then about you joining the Boss Lady Club? What was different about that maybe to what you would have done before?
Well, I suppose I just felt the timing was so right that the emails started coming about the Boss Lady and how it kind of took the individual approach. And I said, well, this is kind of what I need. And of course, I had worked with you doing kettlebells before in your classes.
Yes.
So I knew, so I said, right, this is it. So I sent you that old email wondering, did you remember me? And
of course I did, Maura.
Came back and said, yeah. And, after that first conversation, Sarah, I mean, I just kind of, like, it was like, what you call a veil falling from my eyes, like, as regards everything. You said, well, you can't do everything straight away. You can't do it all together. You're not going to lose that much weight in a few weeks. You just have to break it down into manageable chunks, and you have to look at all aspects of the individual. So it wasn't just the exercise, it wasn't just the food, but all the mindset that went with it as well. So I said, go on, sign me up. And like, I really had absolutely no qualms about doing that at that time at all, and like, I was so delighted with the results.
And when you started doing it and actually getting into the throes of it, and did you realize that it was different than some other things that you did in the approach of possibly adding in the mindset element? Was that what was kind of missing for you in your link, or what?
It was, I'd say, because I had never really done anything like that before. I mean, I would have been Weight Watchers going back years, when you'd be trying to lose weight for a wedding or something.
Yes.
Good for 2 weeks, and that was it. Like, when you spoke to me that first day and you said, well, we do lots of mindset stuff as well, and we look at all the nutrition stuff, and that is different to anything else I would have done. And I suppose then the fact that you do a personalized plan for us, means so much, because not everybody has the same lifestyle anyway.
Exactly.
I could take in lots of exercises that, you might have been doing kind of in a group, and you said, no, we'll work on a plan for you because you can't use your arm, but you still need to do some weight bearing exercises. So you suggested getting the good old weighted vest.
Love it.
I have to say, stuff very well. Yeah, worked out brilliantly, So I got that within 2 weeks, and I was delighted, like, to give it a go. And I could feel the results happening.
Could you? Yeah, because you really embraced it. You're very coachable, Maura. You've really embraced.
It spurred me on completely, because after the first week I lost 2 pounds, and I was going, well, gosh, I'm doing something right.
Yes.
So,
yes. And so was that kind of the moment that you realized that Boss Lady was working, or when did you really what moment was it that you were like, okay, this is actually working for me?
I think it was around that. Yeah, it was quite early on, I have to say. And as well as that, what you used to say to everybody was, to let you know if there was anything kind of in the pipeline with regards weekends away or stuff you might be doing. And, rather than kind of hiding away from it and going, oh my God, I can't tell her now that I'm going. No, because I'm just going to have very healthy food. But you don't always have very healthy food, and you do have a life, and you do want to go out. So I mean, you always said you can work around it, and you can do like, say, with less bits of whatever during the week, if you're going to splash out and have a nice meal and have a few drinks or whatever. So I mean, that was great. So I think, even though I had stuff planned in November and December, I'm still able to lose my target most weeks, not every
Fantastic. Week. Yeah, so it was kind of like, okay, it's working because I'm still able to have my social life and I'm getting a result.
Exactly, exactly. And you take accountability as well. I think that was the great thing about the group, you know, having the Facebook group
Yeah.
with the meetings every week, and then all the comments on everything and all the
Yes.
support we all gave each other. But
Yes.
like that, we were all kind of accountable for everything we did. You know, there was no kind of browbeating, or there was no
Yes.
hiding away either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah,
Yes. Yes. I get you completely, Maura. Yeah.
the approach, very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what kind of what was the biggest kind of mindset transformation that you feel that you got from this?
Well, I suppose one of your mantras was your what is it? Your actions must follow your goals. Isn't that what it is?
Well remembered,
So
Maura.
in other words, yeah, well, that's one thing I will always remember, because you know, and so many people have said to me, you know, what have you been doing to lose the weight? You're looking great and all of this, and I say, well, you know, the first thing you have to do is put your mind to it. And
Love
people,
it.
oh, I don't know, I
Yeah,
can do that,
I
but
love it.
you know, and that was a mega thing for me, I have to
Yeah.
say. It really was.
Okay.
Because even, you know, if like, and you would always say this every week, if you had a shit day or if you end up eating chocolate or whatever, it's just one occasion,
Yeah.
park it, move on
Yes.
from it, rather than saying, oh, that's it, it's over.
Yes.
So that, you know, that is the correct approach, obviously, you know.
Yeah, and
you don't always feel that.
you did it beautifully. Like your behavior really matched your goals, you know.
Well, I kind of did most of the time, you know, but I was still able to kind of enjoy myself. You know, I didn't feel that it was sacrifice at all,
Yes.
because I
Yes.
was getting back what I wanted, you know, which was get to be active again. And I suppose a lot of the meditations as well, you know, that would have been new to me. It took me a while to get
Yes.
into it, as you know.
Yeah.
But same time, I can look back, I can see their work, and you know, I still kind of go into stuff like that now on YouTube myself and do some of them. I still keep my journal.
Yoo-hoo! Your lovely
You
one, Maura. That's
yeah.
beautiful. That's
Yeah,
so great
so
that you keep up with that. And
yes, I found that very good for doing the visualizations as well, and
Yeah.
with the meditations that we used to do in the group, visualizing your future self. I mean, like, I don't know if this is a whatever thing to say or not, but I mean, I am actually what I visualize now.
Oh, it is. That's
So
completely relevant. That's yes. You.
yeah.
So for other boss ladies watching, wondering what we're talking about, is with Maura, I would have gone through visualizing your future self, whether it's in 6 months or 3 months or a year, and trying to get that real clear vision. And Maura got a really clear vision. And then Maura, you also journaled about that vision, didn't you? So now it's a reality. Yeah. Yeah.
It's reality now. So yeah, so that is, you know,
And
what's the most awesome thing about it, because any plan that I would have followed before, I would never have followed through to the end like I did.
right.
You know, I got to within X number of pounds of my goal weight and probably said, oh, I'm there now, and you know, let's just forget about it. Whereas
Okay.
now it's absolute different regime. I'm just kind of eating healthy foods, correct foods. I kind of have a much better idea on the foods to avoid. And like, I don't crave anything, you know, that I used to have. Like, I still have chocolate, and I still go out and I'll have a nice meal out if I want. Still go and have a few drinks, but kind of just be mindful of how many and how many times and all of that.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything major, which is the great thing.
That's great. So you kind of learn how to treat all foods equal.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of, yeah, know the bad ones, know the triggers, you
Know the triggers.
and
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't even, you know, want them anymore. You know.
Wow, that's such a change in where your mind was maybe at the start of Boss Lady and to now, because more is in maintenance mode now. You've got your result and you're keeping it. What was
so far?
Yes, no, you will keep it. I know you will, Maura.
I think I will. Yeah.
What was your overall physical results in transformation? In health and weight loss.
Yeah, I lost centimeters from most parts that we measured. So that was bust, neck, waist, thighs, calves, arms.
Yes.
So I was really pleased with that. I lost over stone, which I was
Fantastic.
delighted with. And yeah, getting back into my old clothes and, you know, not looking at
Yes,
them in the wardrobe. Oh, will I keep it or not? You know, so that's great because it's helping me save money. Because normally I'd be buying stuff
absolutely.
all the
Absolutely.
time. So, you
Yeah.
know, all of that kind of, I'm kind of, my new project now is doing a big declutter and
Yes.
everything in my life, like as regards stuff I own and that kind of a thing. So that's my next thing. So I'm looking forward the whole time, which is great. I'm
That
delighted.
is great because we did a few challenges in the group, didn't we? And one of them was clutter. Melissa was quite good. Remember, she
Yeah.
had bags of clothes and things she was throwing out, and then we did a digital
Yeah.
declutter and things. And you really went at
Yeah.
that. Well, that's great to hear you're continuing to do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's
Yeah.
really important for clearing mind space, isn't it? So that you can create space for things that matter, really.
Without a doubt. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and what about on a level of fitness transformation? You know, where you were when you called me first and you were quite frustrated. And I knew Maura well because Maura would kick arse at the kettlebell club where I was. And she was relentless. And we did all these, you know, kettlebell pyramids and burpees and all this stuff. And so to get your call, um, I could sense that feeling of frustration and wanting to go from A to B of feeling, you know, deconditioned and wanting that fire in your belly, wanting to get back fit again. Where did you go from and to in the kind of 4 months that we spent working together?
Well, I went from practically zero at that time, which was kind of my lowest. Well, I suppose the couple of months before I started, to I am back. I can run on the treadmill for a good half an hour.
Right.
Back swimming, I can, you know, swim a kilometer. I did a kilometer there in the pool today, and I'm even back doing kettlebells. Now I don't have the
Woo!
same strength in the arms. I'm still working on it, but I mean,
Brilliant.
I'm doing my best, and I have this arm, and I'm back doing burpees.
Wow.
Go to fitness classes twice a week, and then maybe 2 gym sessions as well. So that's plenty, you know. I suppose the other thing you said of the approach is like less is often more as
Yes.
regards the exercise. You know, once you know what you're doing and doing it properly, and
Yes.
that you don't need to be banging out for hours in the gym, that a half an hour session is enough. So I'm kind of be mindful of that. Like I used to do 10Ks and that kind of thing, but the old joints aren't as good as they used to be, the knees and the hips. So I'm just kind of pulling back from all that and kind of just really enjoying the exercise that I'm doing, which is great.
That's so great because I think all the boss ladies in that time realized the value of maybe the food prep and the mindset and then the fitness, wasn't it? But maybe when you called me initially, it was more like about just fitness and thinking that was what led to the result, you know. So well done on coming to that, you know. It's a big gift.
Definitely. There was still weight loss, even the days I didn't do any exercise, or even the weeks in some cases, you know. But once you're mindful of the food and kind of keep the mindset going, keep the mind in the right place, you know, that is the number one, definitely.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Maura. And also, I think it was a bit frustrating when other possible trainers or gyms had said, you know, that there's no way you can do weight training because of the injury, but yet we found a way with that weighted vest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt, it was brilliant. It
And you
really
really
was, because I
embraced that.
could feel the wobbles, and you know, it was great because you could do squats and lunges and plank all with the vest.
Yes.
Like they're some of the most effective exercises you could do. So
Yeah.
yeah, I still have her here.
Woohoo! Here she is. How's Betsy? Oh, look at brilliant,
She's in too
Maura.
heavy for me now.
Yeah, that is so
So
great. So there's any other boss ladies watching this, it's a one-piece kit and you can get it online, and it's really, really is a powerful and effective, isn't it, Maura? It's good, you know?
oh, very much so. It was most definitely, yeah.
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 Well done. And
That,
so,
yeah, because we were going, and then I could pick up momentum, you know, with moving, and that was great.
yeah, that's great. And injury-free and pain-free.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, which is so important. And so what's life look like now for you, now that you've kind of solved that problem that you had when we first spoke like 16 weeks ago? What's life like now compared to how it was?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Busy, way up, working every day, and keeping go with exercise, still remembering my mindset, so still doing my journaling. Now, I know I said I do it 3 times a week, mightn't be hitting that target all the time, but I am still,
Okay.
I bring it with most places, and if I get the chance, I do. And yeah, I'm kind of focusing on building a house, so
Yes.
myself, house, yeah. So that's kind of going to be taking up our time now for definitely the next few months anyway. But it's
Okay.
great, like, because it was something I had been thinking about for a long time, but I had so many attachments here. And
Yes.
then, when my mind cleared of everything, I'm like, well, really, I don't have that many. So, yeah, so definitely something that will suit our lifestyle better is what we're doing. And like, I'm very, very happy to be doing it, which is great.
That's great,
So,
Maura. So you kind of got clarity then in your life to clear the way for the bigger goals that maybe you were avoiding or ignoring.
yeah, yeah. You'd be saying, oh, sure, another year, another year, another year. But like, why would you be waiting?
Yes.
There's no time like the present.
Yes. Yes.
So it's
Yes.
just a matter of making that decision. And once the decision was made, got the for sale sign up. So
That
hopefully.
is so
Uh,
inspiring, Maura.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's great to have something. It's great to have something in the pipeline. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it, when you've got bigger life goals beyond like a weighing scales number on a weighing scales,
Oh, without a
that's
doubt,
that's
yeah.
just brilliant. What about if there's any boss ladies watching this back or kind of thinking, I don't know, and would I join the Boss Lady Club, or any advice that you'd have for them?
Oh, I would say just do it. Yeah, because it definitely was the best thing I did. Definitely. And it's helped me in so many aspects of my life. It really
Yeah.
has. It's not just about weight, without
No.
a doubt. But when you get everything kind of in focus, and that's what it helped, and like breaking things down into sizable chunks as well, rather than thinking, oh my God, I've got a stone to lose. Well, no, I've got a pound to lose this week and a pound the following week. And, it
Yes.
just, helped me look at things in a different light. Totally. So, yeah,
Okay.
I would say go for it straight away. Don't hesitate. It definitely is one of the best things.
That's good advice. And you felt supported in the group, of the Boss Lady group, beyond just your coach, myself, but the other ladies in the group, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, that was the great thing about it, that we were all there for each other, and we could all put up any of our frustrations as well as all of our little major wins or
Wins.
minor wins or whatever, and get the support from everybody. Yeah, it is lovely to have a group, and it really did feel like a proper kind of a group, in
Yeah, the
fairness,
Zoom calls are quite.
different parts of the world and that, but still,
Yes, yeah,
I think the meetings every week were great.
yeah, yeah. The Zoom
Um,
calls were quite powerful, weren't they? Aren't they?
Very much so. Very much
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Brilliant.
definitely.
So what's next for you is the house and maintaining the weight and keeping up with your fitness, and any other goals that you have now, Maura, that for the future, or?
No, that's probably the major things at the moment.
Yeah.
Really, definitely maintaining everything, and hopefully have a holiday during the summer,
Yes,
because the weather here isn't very good.
I agree.
So yeah, definitely. Kind of looking forward all the time, anyway.
Yes, that's the main thing, and what a great message. And I really thank you so much, Maura, for coming on and sharing it with other boss ladies, because it's going to help other women to realize, that they can do it too.
Yes, definitely, definitely they can. They really can, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And thank you for everything you put into it, in
My
fairness.
pleasure. My absolute pleasure, Maura. Thanks so much for joining me. And I look forward to chatting to you again soon on our maintenance call. Keep bossing it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks a million, Maura. Talk to you soon, boss lady.
Talk to you later.